Today we're taking a look at our inner environment, what it is, and what we need to do to take care of it. I'm your host, Dyann Bridges, and this is another edition of the Body House Chronicles. To start, I've found an audio from a Trump rally a couple of years ago, and you'll hear three people talking within a crowd. One woman is, I guess you could say, from a left-leaning group, and she's speaking to a man and a woman. They both have on red hats saying, "Make America Great Again." They all look to be between 25 and 30-ish. The woman who's speaking, you'll hear her talking a lot about emotions and how the MAGA hats scare her. Her behavior did seem a little bit erratic and exaggerated, but I'll let you listen to it and see what you think, and then we'll launch into looking at our inner environment.
Think about your hat and the way it makes people feel, because it incites fear in all those around us. Every person is afraid of that hat. I am afraid of that hat. Keep America great. For so many people, that's racism.
Yeah, but that's because of the mainstream media's narrative that's painted Donald Trump as a racist. I don't agree with the narrative. I'm out here to try to share that that narrative is skewed.
As a human being, you should pay attention to fear and not logic.
Wait, you said to pay attention to fear and not logic?
Yes.
I should have paid attention to emotions and not facts?
Yes.
Why would I pay attention to emotions when
that are real in this world?
Facts are facts.
No, emotions are real. Emotions is one removed from spirit. I find that it is hard to trust others.
You shouldn't trust the mainstream media. You should start listening and looking into
What media then do you suggest? That is saying, don't trust knowledge, operate in darkness.
No, go look up facts. Go look up actual statistics and facts. Look up Pew Research.
Emotion is real.
But emotions change, don't they?
Okay, so as you can see, that young lady sounded very frightened by the hats, and she did talk a lot about fear and emotions. What I didn't mention earlier, and what you can't see from the audio, is that she had a shaved head as well. From what I could tell, this young lady really was incredibly self-indulgent in her own emotions and seemed to expect that others should feel the same way. You heard her say that she thought that people should put emotions over logic and above facts. And this speaks to the entitlement that we see so much of in our society now, because you feel a certain way that other people should feel the same way. Apparently now, the most emotional one in the room is the one who gets to be right. I do believe that this is part of the problem today, because we have not become responsible for our inner environment. So that's why today I'd like to talk a little bit about our inner environment. Those are our thoughts, emotions, and our energy, our life force energy, and how that really is our domain, our exclusive domain that is completely 100% our responsibility. No matter how close we get to another human being, a lover, a child, we live life through our bodies, and only we look out from our eyes. So what goes on within this piece of real estate, if you will, is ours to deal with. You can't control the external world, that's true, but you can control the internal world and eventually get to the point where there's genuine peace and acceptance of what is, which starts to make life a lot easier. I also think this is one of the reasons we're having so many problems in 2021 now, is because too many people have decided that someone else should fix it, whatever it is. Whatever is the irritant of the moment. Too many people want to be rescued. Too many people are looking for a handout. There's a sense of entitlement that life somehow owes them something, or the government owes them something. And there's an intellectual argument to be made that that is somewhat true. The government takes from us. Doesn't give a lot in return except a whole lot of hassle. Also, you can work your butt off in life, and it doesn't always reward some like it does others. So there is an argument to be made that it can be justified to feel like you're owed something. And there's nothing wrong with expectations. What I want to focus on here is what goes on inside of your body, inside of your mind, your brain, your heart, your energy level, your emotions. They're all yours. And they help you experience this life. Without a physical body and its 5 senses, we don't have a life. Not a human life, not a real life, not a life that the divine creator intended for us. This is a truly abundant planet. And if we were more responsible with our individual lives, we wouldn't be in this mess. And I'm not talking about climate change. I'm not talking about crashed economies. I'm not talking about lockdowns. Those are all byproducts of not owning your inner environment. Not understanding how you really think and feel about things, and realizing that perhaps the way some of the thoughts that you have are not as independent as you'd like to think they are. And perhaps your emotions are far too reactive. Without a certain measure of self-control, it gets harder to relate. How can you find somebody to relate to if you don't even know who you are? Your career, your job, your friends, how you spend your money, how you look after your body and care for yourself. A lot of that has much to do with how you manage your inner environment. In regard to relationships, the better you understand your inner environment, the more it will alert you to who may or may not be good for you, who you can trust, who will be easy to deal with and live with. I guess I'm saying become a good manager of yourself and your energies. Without those things in check, you can waste a lot of energy. And that's the currency of life, is energy. Younger people tend to have a lot more energy in general than older people because life knows that we're going to make a lot more mistakes when we're younger. So it gives us more energy to deal with all the mess-ups it knows that we're going to deal with, until we learn certain life lessons. And if we resist learning those lessons and continue with the same behavior we engaged in when we were younger, I've noticed that life tends to tax us more heavily by taking away more energy. If you're making the same mistakes in your 40s as you were in your early 20s, you're in trouble. You're going to get older faster. You're going to look it, you're going to feel it. And that's why it's so important to be aware of what's happening inside you so that you know when and how to let go of something that's not serving you. So in regard to relationships, when it comes to your inner environment, a relationship will tax you in ways that couldn't possibly happen when you're by yourself. There's stakes to sharing how you really think and feel, whereas when you're walking around by yourself, they're just your thoughts and feelings. There's no risk. You don't have to share anything with anybody. But as you build an intimate relationship, this becomes more of a requirement. Not only sharing how you think and feel, but doing so in a way that is palatable for the other person, that can be heard by the other person, free from creating extra tension. As far as your inner environment goes in the world at large, in 2021, that means an independence of thought and a lack of fear. Those two things right there will get us out of a lot of problems. Really look at your emotions. Really look at your thoughts. Ask yourself how you came to certain conclusions. Why do you feel a certain way? If you do feel fear, where is that coming from and why? How did you arrive at those thoughts, conclusions, or perceptions? And then watch what kind of action you take when you eliminate the fear based on that independent thought process and perception. I'd be curious to see how that turns out. Thank you. This is your host, Dyann Bridges, and you've been listening to The Body House Chronicles.